everyone, it's India Sage and I'm in Philadelphia for an exclusive interview with Torrei Hart. She is going to be giving us an inside scoop to all things that she has going on. Actress, comedian, businesswoman, this multi-talented creative is taking over the world and we are about to dig deeper into her truth. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go. Welcome, Miss Torrei.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Nationally seeing you on Atlanta Exes, that's the first time that I got to really get into who you are as a person and your personality. And something that stuck out that you said is that, you know, you've been through a lot of stuff that makes you hard, but that's not who you are at the core. So today's interview is really talking about the truth.
Okay, let's
right?
get
So
to
you
it.
have hashtag talking shit, today's hashtag talk the truth.
Okay.
Let's start at the beginning.
All right.
I want to know what inspired you or what gave you that want and desire to walk into this light of comedy.
Wow, well, funny thing is I've always been silly, like from little child, always outspoken, you know, class clown in high school, you know, so always just trying to, you know, uplift people, make them feel good, cracking jokes. And I think I get it probably from my mother because she's always the life of the party, always laughing and cracking jokes too.
Right.
So it was just natural. And, you know, being, of course, that my ex-husband is who he is, you know, being around comedy so much, you know, I always was like, I can do that. You know, I used to do sketches, I did plays, I did things at my church, you know, and then seeing it, I fell in love with it. I would always watch it, and then I was like, I want to do that. Like, I can do that. And so I learned by watching, and then I was like, one day I'm stepping outside of my comfort zone, and I'm going to hit the stage. And so I did it.
Did you ever feel, you know, when you were on the show Atlanta Exes, I think you were the only person who may be in the same profession as the person who you were once involved with, right? And so did you ever feel in that time that you had to show them who Torrei was and not so much what people have already heard who Torrei was?
Exactly. I mean, I still go through that. I still, like, to this day, I have to tell people, like, no, let me let you know exactly who I am. You know, I'm a vet, too. I was in the military. I served the country. You know, tomboy, I shoot guns, throw grenades, I do all kinds of wild, jump out of planes, you know, so it's so many sides to me that people think that they know just based off of routine or the media, but no, so I'm constantly trying to show who exactly Torrei is.
Yeah.
And it's gonna take a little time, but interviews like this and other ones, you know, people are catching on.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I mean, you know, every single comedian or actress or anybody who's in their lane, they're influenced by different kinds of people. So who were you influenced by as you were, you know, becoming Torrei Hart?
Wow, okay, so definitely God, definitely my parents, my sister, friends, also peers in the business. You know, one of my favorite comedians are Bill Burr. A lot of people might not know who he is, but he's a ranter. He goes on rants, and I love people who, because it's natural, it's just, yeah, I rant all the time. When I'm ranting, I just go on rants, so I appreciate a good rant. And, you know, so I would say that those are the people who have inspired me. And of course, I also have to say Kevin has inspired me. I've seen him start from, you know, North Philly selling sneakers to where he's at now. So that's motivation for me because I know the hard work that it takes to get to that next level.
Does he ever reach out to you and give you jokes?
No, but I don't want any jokes from him, actually. I mean,
because I know a lot of you say a lot of his material is built off of you or
well, it
different
was.
things that you've been through.
The early stuff on definitely was. I mean, we would bounce off of each other a lot. But now I definitely wouldn't probably take any jokes from him because I don't want people thinking I'm trying to be like him.
Yeah.
You know, I am a comedian. I can't help who I am and why we ended up together in the first place. It was our energy, and synergy brings people together. So I definitely am very careful about that to have my own material. I'm actually raunchy.
Yeah.
I don't play it safe. I don't play it safe at all because I'm not a play it safe person in real life, so I'm not going to play it safe on the stage. So I'm being me, and you know, there's people who can relate to that. You know, they can act bougie or whatever, but we all got that raunchy side too. So I give you every side of Torrei. Because I don't want to have to be the person, oh, she said this, oh, cast her away. No, this is who I am, and I'm not going to be ashamed of any parts of me because God created me.
Absolutely, and you have your daughter, Heaven, you have your son.
Yes.
And so they're looking up to you and seeing you grind, you know, out of the once limelight of who you were with, and now as the mom and the mogul that you're becoming, what is the inspiration or the message of inspiration that goes to them when they see you?
Wow, you know, it was beautiful. My daughter saw it for the first time at BeautyCon because, of course, I have a hair care line, Heavenly Heart Hair, and it's inspired by my daughter, and it's building slowly but surely. Everything takes time, but she saw how they embraced me at BeautyCon. I mean, I couldn't walk without somebody stopping me and, Miss Hart, please, over here, you know, and she's like, Mom, wow, they really love you. And I was like, yeah, honey, your mom's out here doing things too, sweetheart. So she was like, I see. So I think her eyes were opened in that moment. And so from then on, you know, she sees it differently. She's like, you really are working hard. My son, he's like me. He's a wild child. He's, live your best life, Mom. Do what you need to do. Now I don't mind leaving them for a few days and coming out on the road because they're like, we understand what you have to do to get to where you have to go. Before I took off time to raise my kids, but now that they get it, they're inspired by it and they tell me like, go do what you have to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And, just sitting here, I'm thinking about the many sacrifices that you probably had to make. What did those look like?
You know what? I mean, I don't necessarily call them sacrifices. I did take time off just to be with the kids, and at the time their dad was on the road, so it just made more sense for me to be with the kids. But I built the foundation with my kids. So I would just say I was just building a foundation with my kids, while one parent was gone. Now, it allows me to travel and do what I have to do. And when he's there with them, I'm here, or, vice versa. So, it was just God's timing and his plan. Everything happens in the right timing. So now is the time for me to do what I'm supposed to do.
And the support system that's behind you.
Yeah, and I have a major support system.
Your mom.
My mother, my friends. I mean, my stylist is here with me, Melvin, who's now also like one of my best friends. Even back home, their stepmother. She watches them from time to time when I'm on the road. So, it does take a village. When people are doing the blended family thing, you have to have that support. So I'm thankful for all the support that I have.
The support not only just, with the kids, but I'm sure even when you were going through things mentally. And I definitely want to talk about that because mental health is real and so many people are experiencing it for so many different reasons. And you just happen to speak for mothers.
Yeah.
You happen to speak for the wife. You happen to speak for the ex-wife, right? And so take me back to that period of time when you were coming out of your depression. What helped to pull you back and say, no, I'm not just Torrei the wife and the mom, I'm Torrei the woman?
Wow. Well, let me tell you, I did a lot of fasting and praying, worshiping, constantly, every day doing the work to better myself. You have to do the work. This morning, I was late to an interview because I was praising God.
I saw.
Yeah, I was like, and it hit me. I was, I had my mask on. I was on time.
Yes.
And then the Spirit came over me and I was like, you know what? I'm going to worship. I'm sorry, but I have to do it. So that is a constant thing that I do every single day. Give God my time and ask him to shine his light in me so I can put it out to the world. And so when I was going through my depression, that was the one thing I did. I was in church probably 3 times a week. At the time, I felt that's where I needed to go to get spiritually fed. Now I know how to spiritually feed myself, connecting directly to the Creator. So I do that. I would tell people too, it's a mindset. If you want to be happy, you're going to be happy. If you decide to block out all that negativity, you will block it out. But if you harp on everything that's bad to you, if you hold on to the pain, then how you going to move forward to your future and be in a great place? So that was a decision that I made to every day fight for my happiness.
How did it feel hearing words like, she's bitter, she's mad, she's...
Oh, I was bitter at one point, wouldn't you? If your ex-husband started off taking Greyhound, you with him, and now he's flying private jets, I'm sure anybody would be bitter.
Touché.
I mean,
touché.
Look, every week you flying on a private jet, every week. Yeah, I was bitter, so what? I ain't bitter no more. Everybody grows and you go through stuff, but at the time, not only did I see all of this stuff happen, my family got taken from me. Did people ever stop to think about, oh my gosh, she lost her family? My kids now have another person in their life who is, not their mother, but she's around playing that figure. So, there's a lot of women who can identify with, do I want my kid around this person? Like, some people go through that where it's like, no. Now I embrace it. I'm like, yeah, listen, I need a day off. Go ahead, take them to soccer practice. You know what I'm saying? Like, I embrace it now, but at the time, I had to open my mind to something different. Like, okay, well, this is all God's plan. Whatever is happening for a reason. So let me figure out exactly what it is. But honey, no longer bitter, only better.
I love that. I love that. I'm sure that it didn't only affect your mental well-being, but I'm sure it affected the kids. How were they able to transition through that?
Well, they were young.
Okay.
They were younger, so, I think as they get older, I might, have to start having more conversations with them because they are getting older.
Sure.
But since they were younger, it's a little different. But now they are starting to have questions. So the one thing that I am is very honest with them. I don't sugarcoat anything. I think that might be mine. Sorry. I don't sugarcoat anything. I don't lie, and I don't treat them as little babies. I treat them as young adults that are growing up. And when I'm super honest with them, they get it and they appreciate my honesty. So I would say to other parents, be honest with your children. Mm-hmm. Speak life into your children and show them the world, because the world is not going to be, soft on them and sugarcoating stuff. So you got to raise them up to understand that. And I think it starts in the home.
Definitely starts in the home.
Yeah.
I mean, from what I'm hearing, just overall, mentally, spiritually, physically, getting balanced to be able to move to those new next levels.
Yeah.
So after you came out of that, is that when you were inspired to say, maybe I want to start this hair care line?
It actually came to me in yoga. I was in yoga. I was in hot yoga, namaste, and spiritually, I've spiritually felt in yoga all the time. This company had wanted to work with me. They wanted me to be a brand ambassador for them. And I was like, yeah, I don't really want to do a brand ambassador thing anymore. I could partner up with you on something, but I'm not lending out my name and my talents and gifts just to be a brand ambassador.
Right.
So I said, if you want to partner up with me, though, on this idea that I have, I said, let's go for it. So, of course, that's how Heavenly Heart came around, and I told her the idea that I had for the hair care line, how I want to gift it to my daughter when she's 18, and they were on board. So they were my partner and my manufacturer, so it all worked out very well.
And I love that. Legacy is what you're creating throughout every single avenue that you are venturing into. What is that legacy going to say to the world when Torrei Hart's no longer here?
Well, I'm still working on that. It's so much more I want, surprisingly. Like, I can't even tell you what's in this head. But definitely that she was a good person, number one. Whenever you come in contact with me, you're always going to feel good. Because that's like a personal mission of mine, because as a Black woman, we get such a bad rap. We get a bad rap that we're angry. We get a bad rap that we always doing too much or whatever. So, we're rude. I can't tell you the things that I've heard as being a Black woman. So, my biggest plight as a Black woman is to, whenever I come across any race, any nationality, is that I change the stereotype of how they see us. So I'm going to make sure you feel good. I'm going to be loving. I'm going to be kind. I'm going to give you what I've been working on for me to change the stereotypes. So that's one. Two, just that she's a hard worker. You won't stop her. She's going for hers, and she is going to get it. So that's where I'm at right now, and who knows what God's got in store for me later.
I'm sure that he has a lot of living your best life in store.
Yeah, I live my best life every day. And don't get it twisted, I have my moments where I may have a bad moment or I'm feeling down, but that's when I really just go and start digging deep. I read my books. I have my books with me, that I could go to for, if I need to feel good, my spiritual readings. Once again, you have to do the work. If you're feeling like you're having a bad day, what are you going to do to turn it around? But every day, you could be good, could be bad, but you still have to do the work.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Doing the work, you can't get anywhere without it. And so to the young comedians that are looking up to you and saying, me next, how? Where do I start?
Open mics. start at open mics. You have to go at least 5 times a week. You have to write. You got to study. You need to be looking at people and other comedians who you find funny, who you think your style is similar to. Study the greats. You have to do the research. It's just like any doctor. You're a doctor. You're not going to go into the surgery room talking about, yeah, I'm ready. Where my scalpel at?
Right.
If you ain't went to school, if you ain't studied, if you haven't practiced. So you have to do the work. Every day, you have to do the work.
And so when you had your first comedy show, I want to know, how did that go?
I actually didn't do that great. My first comedy show. I got laughs, but I didn't do that great. I was very nervous.
Okay.
Very, very nervous. It was at the Ha Ha in North Hollywood, California. That was where I at first got on stage for comedy. But what it did was it made me go home and say, you know what, I'm funny. I don't know what happened there, but I'm funny and I don't write typical jokes. My jokes actually have substance and they're smartly thought out. So I was like, okay, I just have to go down and maybe change the format up just a little bit. So it made me go home and write even more. And then the second time I went on stage, I had a great show. So I went back though and did the work to get better. I didn't let it stop me.
Who are some comedians, female comedians, that you're seeing out now that you think, oh, I like her style?
For me personally, I love Wanda Sykes.
Very funny.
She's old school,
Yes.
but she's very smart with her jokes, very driven. So I like Wanda Sykes material. I love some more. You know, I always look up to people who are here because I see what it takes. So, you know, I appreciate what they've done. Samore is classy. She's sexy. You know, she tells you exactly what's on her mind. And it's easy. It's not like she's trying too hard.
Yeah.
It's natural. So I like comedians that their delivery, you know, is just natural. It ain't all the screaming and the yelling. But you're gonna get that joke because it's smartly written.
Right.
Yeah.
And so now, you know, you're not just doing comedy, Torrei. You're moving into bigger and better things. I want to know, are we going to see you on any new TV shows anytime soon?
Well, you probably will. I can't speak on it just yet, but I have some major things in the works. Also, film right now. You can also see me. I have 2 movies that are out on Amazon right now. One is Custody Road. The other one is Resolution Song. Custody Road is I'm playing a judge. So I'm a very dramatic actress too, and you know, a lot of people put me in positions of powerful roles. So I do play a judge in Custody Road, and in Resolution Song, which is a faith-based film, I'm playing a mother who went through a serious tragedy. Her son passes away. So for me to dig deep in there, and I had to, you know, to do that, I actually imagined if I lost my son. So I did the work to do that, but that was hard for me because I don't never want to imagine losing my son. But it's a great, great movie, Resolution Song.
Denzel Washington talks about actually going into character even off set. Is that something that
he's a
you might
method
practice?
actor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. No. I'm gonna do it when I get on set though. You know, just because I don't want to be walking around all day long like, oh my God, my son is dead. I just can't. But when I step on that set, I'm gonna do the work. I'll have all prepared. I'll have my notes. I'll have everything done. And when I step on set, you're gonna get me 100%. But you know, Heath Ledger, he was a method actor and he passed away when he went so deep with becoming the Joker. He never came out of it. So I just can't do that.
You don't want to go that
Yeah,
far.
I don't want to go that. It's still a job. It's still a job.
Let's keep it at that.
Yeah, I want to keep it at work. Yeah.
Any new collaborations on the way, whether you're working with other comedians, other actresses, anything new?
Well, I actually have a talk show out right now with Georgia Rain, you know, who she's a singer, but she's a natural comedian too. She's very, very funny. It's called Talking Shh, and it's on the Zeus network, and you know, you can see that other raunchy side of me, so that's out right now. I'm on tour with my Bald and Bougie tour, so you know, my next dates, of course, October 21st and with 21st with Michael Blackston at the 2300 Arena. You can get your tickets now for that. And then Detroit, I'm coming your way, 25th through the 28th with my tour. And then Indianapolis, November 4th is my next big date at a theater, Indianapolis.
Busy.
Yeah.
When do you find time to rest?
I rested a little bit last night. I did. I rested for about 6 hours. But, you know, I enjoy it. So I'm going. You know, like I said, when I wake up and praise, I ask God, give me some energy. You know, shoot your energy in me. Give me that energy that I need to get through the day. And I promise you, Whenever you ask for what you want from God, your guardian angels, it works.
Last question.
Yeah.
You are going to be going all over the world soon, hopefully. Top 5 places that you have to go.
Wow, okay. Africa, still have not been to the motherland yet. I want to go to Africa. Well, specifically, I want to go to Morocco too. I still have not been to Paris. You know, I have in my mind though, some man's going to say, we're going to Paris, and then we're going to kiss in front of the Eiffel Tower, and he might propose. These are all little things in my head that I see. Because, you know, I've had the opportunity to go to Paris several times, but I'm like, I'm not going to Paris with you, girl, no. The man is taking me, and he's kissing me, and he might propose to me in front of the Eiffel Tower, okay? So that's Paris. Where else? Gosh, been to Dubai, so I got that off my bucket list earlier today.
Okay.
Thailand. Want to get to Thailand.
Beautiful.
Yes, I love Buddha. You know, he's so peaceful. You know, I love everything about that culture. And I'm trying to think where else. Indonesia. Want to get to Indonesia. And I can't think of the last place.
One last place. You got to give me one last place.
St. Lucia.
Nice.
Yeah, want to get to St. Lucia. That's another trip where I'm letting the man know he's got to take me.
Okay, right.
Because it's very romantic.
So we're going to just put that out there right now.
A straight man.
Okay, we just, you know, give the camera a message. Listen, if you guys are interested, Torrei.
My publicist out here in Philly, he's talking about, no, I'm sorry, it has to be a straight man. Yeah.
Let's make that clear.
Can't make love to a gay man.
No.
I mean, I could, but it's not my preference. So it has to be a straight man.
It's not his either. Well, Torrei, we cannot thank you enough for sitting down and speaking with us. This has truly been inspiring to all the actresses, young comedians that are out there looking up to you and hoping one day that they will get their shot. They thank you.
Thank you.
I can't thank you enough for sitting down with us.
Thank you.
And hopefully people will be able to get out to some of those shows that you'll be having.
They better.
And support.
They better. Y'all better come out.
Yes.
Okay?
You're doing the thing.
Because I fight if you don't.
Don't fight.
All right.
Look, firecracker going on. We love you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Until next time.
All right.